Hey everybody, I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Myra and this is The Real Deal on MPD with Myra. I created this channel because I have gone through a narcissistic relationship and I had no idea that I was in it until it ended. So I want to educate people about narcissistic personality disorder so that you guys don't have to go through what I went through and waste a good amount of time of your life dealing with these people. So today I really want to get into the narcissistic cycle of abuse and how it begins and ends. And I'll tell you a little bit about myself as we go through the cycle of abuse. So the person that I was dealing with, the narcissist, I met him at work. He was actually a new employee. And, you know, pretty much the moment he saw me, he kind of just targeted me. He was relentless. He wanted to go out. He wanted to date. You know, there were a lot of red flags. I wasn't comfortable dating someone that I worked with at all. There were some other red flags, just, you know, boundary crossing over and over again. But, you know, I really didn't listen to my own intuition. My intuition told me, no way. But I went against my own good judgment and decided to go ahead and start dating him. And so when that occurred, and before, you know, it was a relationship, is when the narcissistic cycle of abuse started. And that was the beginning, which, you know, there are 3 different stages in the cycle of abuse, and it starts with the love bombing. He started love bombing me immediately. He made me feel like I was the most important person in the world. He wanted to know all about my life and how I'd grown up, you know, how my life was then, and just, you know, was a very good listener. And so I became drawn to him because I thought, you know, this guy knows how to communicate, knows how to listen and show interest. And so, you know, I got right on that bandwagon, and I kind of wish I didn't now. But anyway, so that's the love bombing. And so that is the first stage of the narcissistic cycle of abuse. During the love bombing, I got flowers, I got, you know, many dates and going out. Just surprises. I think he showed up at one of my son's basketball games and brought me some boots. Now, they weren't quite my taste, but, you know, it was nice. And so, you know, I'd never been treated quite like that before. So I was pretty impressed. And, you know, he was showering me with love, attention, affection, what I thought was love at the time. And, you know, they used this behavior to win you over and to create this instant bond, a very intense bond. And so, you know, it just goes so fast. It's like a whirlwind. You know, the narcissist, he's so charming, so charismatic at the beginning of the relationship. And they, like I said, you know, they kind of make you feel like you're the only person in the world. But let me just tell you, it is a complete and total facade.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
The truth is that the narcissists, you know, they only care about themselves. So let's get into the second stage, which is devaluation. You know, when I hit devaluation, I was not sure, you know, what was going on. I did feel that there was a change in the behavior, but it kind of felt like to me we were just settling into being a couple. Now, mind you, you know, he lived in the city that I live in, and he didn't really have family here. So I just, you know, I brought him right into my family. He came to holidays and birthdays, and, you know, I literally thought of him as family. And then I'll tell you more about that. But, you know, at the devaluation, the narcissists, they get the partner hooked, they get them into the relationship. And at that point in time, they begin to get bored because the challenge is over. And so the devalue starts when they kind of put you down a little bit, you know, might be hidden in a joke or something, a little criticism, still again hidden in a joke, because this man, he was a covert narcissist. So it just wasn't that obvious to me in the beginning. So, or even in the middle, even to the end. And let me just tell you this, you are a prime target if you come from a family of dysfunction. And that is what I came from. You know, I grew up in a family with domestic violence, and I witnessed it. I even, you know, had verbal and emotional abuse. So, you know, when that kind of thing was happening, you know, that was normal for me. So it didn't really put up any, you know, red flags at that time. So I just kind of went with the flow. I thought he was just being funny and joking. But, you know, that was the case. So, you know, some of these behaviors, the controlling behaviors that do come out, and they were started before, you know, the whole relationship. They were already manipulating you and gaslighting you and using all this dysfunctional behavior. But it really got into it in the devaluation. So we're going to look at the next area, or the next stage of the cycle of abuse. And that would be the discard. The discard. You know, finally, where they're tired of you. They done found somebody else by then. And so during this last phase, the narcissist will discard their partner. And discard, it means like trash, you know, just throw you away like trash, like you didn't even matter, like you didn't even have all those years between you. So, you know, this can involve them ghosting you, cheating on you, you know, simply just moving straight on with their new supply. So, you know, there's many reasons that they decide to do this. You know, the boredom had already set in. They had already started criticizing you and devaluing you. You weren't the person that they met in the beginning, you know, or maybe it got too difficult for them to control you. And I think that was the case with me. I was asking a little too many questions, you know, demanding some things. So, you know, they will also get rid of you if you're too easily manipulated by them, because they begin to look down on you. Or maybe if you can no longer fuel their ego, you know, they move on to someone else who can provide that supply that they need. So, you know, some of them just get with you to use you, you know, for your social status, for your money, what you are in the community. And so maybe you can no longer give them or further their life goals. So they maybe find someone else who can. They also have nerves to feel like they can level up and get somebody better. Anyways, so if you are in a relationship with a narcissist, it is so important to understand the cycle of abuse. If I understood this, I would have been out way before this freaking discard. So, you know, if I can help you, if this can help you identify when abuse is occurring, then you can take the steps to protect yourself. And you can also, you know, people like me who come from the domestic violence family, sort of a dysfunctional family, then it will help you in the cycle of abuse. And when you end the cycle of abuse and you find out, when you do an evaluation of yourself, why you might be in a relationship like this, because you do have to do a little digging. And oftentimes it's because of where we came from. You know, not only do the narcissists, you know, have abuse and things in their background, but we do too, as empaths and as sensitive people, as people who care about people. But they went one way and we went the other way. And so it's just so important to, once you're out of this, and you know, maybe in the middle of it, if you can get out sooner, to really look at yourself and determine what those unhealthy patterns are and why you would choose to be in a relationship with someone like this. Now, for me, I thought I was in a happy relationship. You know, he still was doing nice things for me. But part of the devalue with me was he didn't see me too often. You know, he was always saying he was busy because he had this new job and he couldn't get the work-life balance and all. Would come over to my place only two times a month, okay? That's what it got to in the end of the relationship. And that's what I was bringing up. Like, what, you know, are we in a relationship or what? And I kept, saying things are going to need to change. If things don't change, then we probably do need to end this. And so that's when he just took he just decided to end it himself. And then the whole discard, let me tell you, it's the weirdest, strangest breakup I've ever had in my life. He was talking in circles yet again, not saying anything. He was stonewalling me. You guys probably experienced that before. The stonewalling, the silent treatment, not answering. And then, when you're asking questions and somebody doesn't answer you, you feel like you got the answer. And so basically, what I have come to is he had a new supply. He had been seeing probably several people during our whole relationship, but at this point in time, he had found somebody new who was easier to manipulate, and he just cut his losses with me. And so, we're going to talk about it a little bit more, but oh boy, underestimated me, and we'll talk about that. But he did something that was really interesting, because if you've read or know anything about narcissistic personality disorder, they like to be a victim. They come into the relationship being a victim. They're the victim of their ex. They're the victim of their ex-wife, and they cheat. Women cheated on them, or they lied to them. They treated them poorly. Which, he got me, in the beginning with that story. I said, well, that's not really nice what you're saying happened to you. I felt sorry for him, but you know what? By the end of the relationship, I knew those were lies. They were lies, because he was probably about to go say the same thing about me. Now, let me tell you something about me. I am the most loyal person you can find in this world. I never cheated. I have had opportunities to do that. There are men that wanted to see me, but no, I'm a loyal person. I am an empath. I am a sensitive person. And I think about how that would affect the other person. So, you want to respect the person you're with. So he had found his new supply already. He cut his losses with me. It was the most vicious discard or breakup I've ever had. It was so strange, because he never was like that to me. And so I even asked him, what in the world is going on? Why are you talking to me like this? I was just appalled. But basically what he did was he had me do a reverse discard on him. And I knew why it was, because it seemed like what he was trying to do was make me the bad guy. So he was going to force me to go ahead and discard him, so that he could go to his family and to the new supply and tell them, oh, I tried so hard with her. She just didn't want to be with me anymore. She was cheating. She was just a horrible person. And I even said it to him. I said, I see that you're trying to make me the bad guy in this situation, and you the good guy. And he said, well, there are no good guys and bad guys in this situation. Well, he set that whole thing up. Okay. I guess he didn't want to actually lie. He wanted to have it really be me. So he did. And right after that, I went ahead and blocked on everything. It was tough, because I didn't understand. But let me tell you, when I finally looked up narcissistic personality disorder, it fit him. The cycle fit me to a T, and I knew what I had been dealing with. And so then I knew what to do. You don't think there are people like this in the world, that there would be people that would fake a relationship for that amount of time just so that they can get the attention seeking that they need. I just had never heard of that. And of course, he never told me about this. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to bring the narcissistic cycle of abuse to you today, so that hopefully, you understand about it. You can get out of it way sooner than I did. I'm going to keep bringing you more videos about narcissistic personality and, all the different things that you deal with in the relationship. And I also want to talk about how we can heal ourselves, how we can move forward. Because guess what? None of us, man or woman, none of us deserve this kind of behavior and treatment. None of us deserve for people to lie on us and do smear campaigns. You know, none of us deserve this. We deserve a person that is just for us. It's not messing around with their exes, not, you know, messing around with whoever they can find. So I'm going to keep bringing you more videos, educating you guys while educating myself, because I am still in my healing journey. And as we heal together, we will learn together. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope to bring you another video soon.